Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Apologies for a 15-minute late start. I do not like not starting on time. A couple of things you notice here tonight. I did see our mod's question or comment in the chat. He was guessing a teal shirt, but today is the beginning of Masters Week, so I've got my Masters shirt on tonight. Additionally, you notice the headset. That is because I'm going to be going to a black one. I'm a musician, been playing music for 30 years or 40, I guess. I started playing piano at 9, and I've been running my in-ears right here to try to be invisible to you guys, but I'd rather it be visible and my ears not hurt. So I am retiring the in-ears. I'm going to, don't worry, this is not the one that's going to stay. I'm going to go to a thin-lined black one, but it's just so much more comfortable for me. I have a lot of tinnitus and music for all these years, and I tried that yesterday, and I said, oh my goodness, I don't care if I look stupid because of this big thing on my head, but my ears should sure do feel better. So we're going with that. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you guys being patient. As I said, I like to be on time for everything. And yes, I did not change the advertisement because I didn't have time. I've been talking to Pete just up until right now. And unfortunately, Pete will not be able to join us tonight. His unit was rotated out to the front. As you remember when I was talking about this yesterday on Rick's stream, that we would be live tonight, and Pete had today off. Well, you see how the Frontline war changes. And I do have a video. I'm going to share it with you in just a moment. So patch of the night right here on purpose. This is for the earth and for the sky. The reason I'm using this as a patch for tonight is because I have some bad news about Crinky. This is the Crinky Guys patch, and I will share that with you in a little bit. We do have some good news. We have some bad news. As far as tomorrow, Johnny Pierce will be on with me at 5 o'clock Eastern. Wednesday night, Dr. Professor Gertis will be on with me at Wednesday night, 5 o'clock. And of course, that could be preceded by Pete hopping back in. I will show you that video in a moment, but I'm going to be quite honest with you guys tonight. Today is a challenge, a big challenge. I've been talking with Pete a lot. I've been talking with Zhenya a lot, and it's quite difficult in Ukraine today. There are a lot of strikes. There are a lot of hits on infrastructure. In Poltava, I'll show you this in just a few minutes. We've just had some people killed from a strike. Russia is massively attacking energy infrastructure, and it is taking a serious toll on Ukrainian life. And I've got some comments tonight about mobilization. I was able to rearrange things really quickly, and we'll get going. So, yeah, very tough. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, donating. We will have an update on the Snatch project forthcoming. Was going to do it tonight because I was going to bring on PK to see PK, to see Pete, but I changed that all when I was just talking to Pete. I can tell you this. I will give you an update on the snatches towards the end of the program, but we're getting ready to see a massive a massive jump. And I don't want to call it until it's here, meaning the check is in the mail, and this check really is in the mail. It's a donor that donates quite regularly to support Ukraine through our efforts. So there will be an adjustment coming Additionally, I have some good news on another donation that came in this weekend. And before I start with the update, I want to tell you tonight that yesterday I enjoyed so much being on Rick the Ukrainian's live stream. I did my first flag raffle. You guys know that I have one grill. I'm going to add that to the queue. I'll hit that in a minute. That was a really good question there. I'm watching it right here. But I'm going to give you an update on all the giving, the snatch, the batteries. There's a lot of good things happening. And but today, tough day in Ukraine, just mentality-wise, but we'll get to all of that. The flag raffle, I have over 50 Frontline signed battle flags from the Zero Line. Not signed in Kyiv, not signed in Lviv, not signed in Cherkasy, but signed in the trench on the Zero Line. Fish did a lot of that facilitation for me. I left him flags for about a month. He says, Greg, leave them with me. I'll get them signed, and you do whatever you want with them. So that is in process. Yesterday, we raffled the first flag on Rick's stream. I needed to learn how to do it. Rick the Ukrainian is a professional at it, and I think I learned pretty well. So this week, and for weeks going forward, we're going to call Fridays Flag Day. And every Friday, I'm going to raffle off a flag, a signed battle flag from the Zero Line. And what you will do is buy, if you so choose, to put your name in the hat, you will be able to buy raffle tickets for $10 per ticket. And I then have the software. You do it through the PayPal or through the Buy Me a Coffee, because I can see those real time. It goes into a list quick. I'm going to have, I think, my wife or my daughter helping me facilitate all it, because it's quite a challenge to keep up with all that data. And then at the end of the stream, we will spin the wheel and we will give the flag away, mail it to whoever has the winning raffle ticket. So last night we raised $1,770, I think, raffling one flag, that money going towards the Snatch Project. So right now, you don't have to do anything. It will be Flag Friday. Now, additionally, last night, one of our great supporters from Europe, Adrian, he may even be in here, but his YouTube avatar has half Swiss flag, half Ukrainian flag. Great supporter of Ukraine. He bought 80 tickets. And I said, okay, we're done. Adrian, you've been so supportive of Ukraine. And then after he bought the 80 tickets on Rick's stream, he says, take 79 tickets out. I just want to support Ukraine because 80's too many. It's unfair. I'm making it unfair. So I called an audible and I just gave Adrian a flag, and it goes in the mail tomorrow. All the ship outs have been processed today, and it's really good stuff, guys. So it makes it it allows you an opportunity to be a part and to get something signed right from the Zero Line. So put that in the back of your mind. That'll be Friday. This is going to be a full week. Adrian is in the house. I hear that. Thank you, Paul. So Adrian, thank you as always. Big appreciation to you, brother. Adrian rocks. Okay, guys, let's jump to it now, and away we go. Right here. Pete, supposed to be here tonight, unavailable at the very last minute. And you still are going to hear from Pete. Pete right now is on the Zero Line. Right off the Zero Line where he does his work. And maybe you're wondering tonight, well, Greg, where's Pete at? So guys, I'm gonna tell you tonight where Pete's at. I know some of you guys are going, no! Pete's somewhere in this area. Somewhere in that area. So I got you guys. No, Greg. Here you go. Here's Pete talking to all of you minutes ago.
Dearest Greg, dearest Shenya, dearest everybody at the Greg Terry Experience, you guys have to, please, I have to beg your forgiveness tonight. We have arrived at our frontline position and we don't have enough Starlinks. My house that I'm sleeping in is half a kilometer away, and this house has got about 20 soldiers in it, and they're doing rotations right now, and there's no ways at midnight I can sit here having a loud stream. The house is in darkness, there's no electricity, there's one echo flow. Two echo flows, one's running the Starlink, one's giving this light. Please, my sincerest apologies, folks. It's just, it's impossible to happen tonight. I'm really, really, really sorry. We have to drive to Kharkiv tomorrow, an hour and a half away, to go get another echo flow. Maybe we can catch up tomorrow, Greg. I'm really sorry, brother.
So, guys, there you have it. That's Pete minutes ago in his position, and he's somewhere down there doing his job. But as you can see, they have one echo flow, and 20 guys there in the home trying to get rest and to rotate half a kilometer from that zero position. So that's Pete tonight. Regardless of his life being turned upside down, he was not supposed to be there, but he got rotated out. He lost his evening of rest. That's what happens, guys. Pretty much every day. If you want to know what's going on in the war, we will share it with you. Where else are you going to get those types of videos? Just minutes ago, Pete. He then sent me a couple more videos that he was actually outside doing some work, but we're not going to share those. But guys, it's really, really tough. So for those of you that pray, remember Pete and the guys in your prayers. For those of you that think good thoughts, keep good thoughts. And for those of you that ask for the planets to align, much like Johnny Pierce from ATP Geopolitics, make sure that you keep good thoughts for those guys tonight. Adrian, there you go. Thank you. I got it in there at the last second. Thank you for those 20 coffees. And yes, all good thoughts, hopes, and prayers to Pete and the guys tonight. Before I get into the update on the news, and there's some very important things I want to share with you, can we add more echo flows to purchase? I'm going to hold that up there for 1 second. In fact, let me do this. Pete, you're probably watching this. Just read the chat, brother. Just read the chat. Yeah, just read the chat. Let me cue that one up. I'm going to get back to that in a second. You could see the one light. You could see the echo flow. You could see Pete dressed in his gear. He went outside and sent me some video. And wherever you're at this evening or tomorrow morning, if you're in Australia or the Far East or morning west of me, be thankful for what you have, guys. Be thankful for what you have. Pete having a tough day, having to rotate out. Zhenya having a tough day, very tough day, with facilitating work of our nonprofit and aid to our guys, which are your guys. So all around tough day, and but tough days bring good days. So thank you guys, and away we go. That's the update on Pete here on day 775. Now, some good news tonight to start with, and that is I'm giving you here the official Ukrainian Defense Department, Defense Ministry report for March, and this is about technical equipment losses not conjecture, but actually physically seen with eyeballs, physically seen with drone footage for the month of March. And it's good. It's good. As I give you these numbers, I do want you to remember one thing. Ukraine and Russia do not have equal numbers. So this is not a war where, for example, Russia has 1,000 tanks. Ukraine has 1,000 tanks, and then we start subtracting the losses. Remember, Russia has much more, but that's why it's important that Ukraine takes out much more. So you have to remember that. But for the month, really good month for Ukraine. Ukraine even undersupplied and undermanned. And who knows what's going to happen as we go forward in this month. A lot of chaos happening in the United States in regard to supply. Even now, Dr. Gertis put out a really good video about that earlier today. 535 BMPs. That is not destroyed, okay? That is destroyed, damaged, or lost. Destroyed, damaged, or lost. That's the total numbers. 535 for Russia versus 77 for Ukraine. Good number. Automobiles, that could be the little Ladas the soldiers are driving, the pickup trucks, ATVs, quads, whatever. 489 for Russia, lost, destroyed, damaged, versus 125 for Ukraine. That's good. Tanks, 205 Russia, lost, damaged, destroyed. 68 Ukraine, lost, damaged, destroyed. EW systems, meaning electronic warfare systems and radar, 86 destroyed, damaged, lost for Russia versus 30 destroyed, damaged, lost for Ukraine. Specialist equipment, that's what they call it. I translated it straight out for you. 23 units for Russia, 7 units for Ukraine. This is a problem here. Air defense systems. We already are very low in those, and we lost 8 over the month. Russia lost 14. And another one we don't like for the month of March, this is confirmed numbers. This is not Telegram and Twitter. Confirmed numbers for March. Aircraft, whether it's a plane or a helicopter, 5 lost for Russia, 6 lost for Ukraine, damaged or destroyed. And then they have 2 categories here of unknown equipment, just where they see the damaged or typically destroyed equipment and they're not able to identify it other than knowing it's equipment, technical equipment. 2 different categories for that. 35 lost for Ukraine, damaged or destroyed, versus 26 for Russia. 56 for Ukraine versus 22 for Russia. Now, because we do not know what systems those are, it's hard to calculate the value of that. But overall, very, very, very good month. Let me check here. I got guys talking to me over here. I think... thank you, Paul. I'm reading Mod's chat over here. I have that comment queued up. We will get to it. Absolutely. Let's keep going. Over the last 24 hours, these are the key places that have been hit inside Ukraine. Number 1, Kharkiv. Kharkiv is being hit nonstop. Kharkiv is a very, very dangerous place to be right now, because Kharkiv is hit quite often and the air alarm does not even go off because the S-300s are there. Remember how close in proximity Kharkiv is to the Russian border. Additionally, many drone strikes, specifically the Shaheeds, are hitting Kharkiv, targeting the infrastructure. And I know, yes, they're hitting apartment buildings. Yes, they're double tapping buildings. This is where we lost Vova's father for the mechanics for Project Konstantin in that double tap strike. But additionally, Russia really targeting the infrastructure, specifically electrical generation. We'll talk more about that in a moment. I have a couple of interesting things to show you. Poltava, not talked about much, but Poltava was just hit hours ago. We've got 2 killed, 5 wounded, and those numbers will probably change. That was a random strike. Dnipro, infrastructure being hit. Odessa, substation was hit. And Zhytomyr, all 5 of those circles, those are all confirmed hits where the targets are infrastructure. And it is causing a problem. Now, guys, please pay attention. Please pay attention here. I'm going to show you this on the map really quickly. I just got this information in from Zhenya. I got this information in from some other guys and that I trust. And I can tell you right now that we have a couple of areas of concern, and I will bring them to bear for you right now. So everybody's looking at the map together. The first place we are going to look at, and I just discussed it, was Kharkiv. Kharkiv being hit basically nonstop, and right here is the border. It's that close. Belgorod, here, you hear about it often, is only 90 kilometers from center to center, meaning from the very center of Kharkiv to the very center of Belgorod is 90 kilometers. Very, very close proximity. And, even Zelensky and others out of Kyiv have begun to say, if we do not get air defense and supply, Kharkiv's in question. And they haven't wanted to say that. But, guys, if you're there, it's obvious. If Ukraine does not receive air defense, more. Artillery, more. And additionally, F-16s or comparable planes they can get in the air. Remember the month statistics. Ukraine lost 6, Russia lost 5 for March. I know other things have happened in April that are positive, but that's March. The glide bombs hitting Kharkiv are unstoppable right now. Unstoppable without luck. So Kharkiv can very quickly become a gray zone, and we'll see. We will see. Let's hope not, but without aid, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. All right, I want to come now and look at Konstantinivka. This is no bueno right here. 2 places, 3 places, 4 places I'm going to talk about that are a little struggle. We tell you the truth, guys. That's all I'm going to tell you. We are not negative Nancy's. We put our lives on the lines every day. We are truth. This is the hope train. We give you hope. We give you care. We give you honesty, not some hopium. The hope is Ukraine is supplied, mobilization is figured out because they're better soldiers and win the war as they're standing up for you and I. The reality is, unless they are supplied, it's not going to happen. Do not take it from me. Zelensky just said it on a CNN interview. If we are not supplied, we will lose. Quote, if we're not supplied, we will lose. He then said, I don't care if it's given, leased, we pay for it, donated, it doesn't matter. We'll take any route possible because it's critical. It's critical. And guys, we tell you the truth here. So the truth is Chasiv Yar is in trouble. Period. I'll zoom it in here for you guys. Let's go something like this. This is better. We had confirmed with you last Friday that Ivovnitsky, which is here, it's gone. It's under Russian control. There's no question. I'm sorry, Ivovnitsky here. I zoomed into my map too much. And we confirmed it for you that it was under Russian control. And now you can see I only personally trust ISW, Institute for the Study of War Maps. And in my opinion, they're the best with the most data points. And excuse me for saying this, but professionals, trained analysts looking at the data points, not Uncle Joe sitting in his basement eating Doritos, okay? And I don't know who Uncle Joe is, and that's not a slight at anybody, but these guys are trained there at the Institute of Study of War. So now, here is Eastern Chasiv Yar. I showed you video on this last week, and it was being hit right there. And you could see the grassy plain here, and then central and western Chasiv Yar spreads out here. So right now, this section of Chasiv Yar is being shelled nonstop. There are, unless they're undercover, Russian forces are not in Chasiv Yar, central and west. They are on the outskirts of the east and have moved in a little bit on the east, the first street or two. And that's up to this moment, 5:42 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What we can tell you additionally for Chasiv Yar is, and we'll go that color, this right here is destroyed. I was able to share with you video on Friday. It is destroyed. A lot of folks here tonight. I can actually go real time again. Let's do this. As a reminder, let me turn that volume down. This is the video. This is Chasiv Yar, East Chasiv Yar. We geolocated it for you guys on Friday. I showed you the church. I showed you the buildings. So every look at the buildings, guys. This is just from a few days ago. This is from the 98th. This is Russian video I'm showing you, the 98th. And I'll go to some more here. So let me pause right there. Look at the right section below their logo. Do you see everything leveled to the ground? Look in the center with the burning, the church, the left. It's destroyed. You see the mid image there in the middle of your screen with the green belt. That's where the bridge crosses and goes into central and then western Chasiv Yar. And then on the hill above that is Konstantinivka. That's one of the best angles to see it. So when I share it with you that the guys, the Russians have come into the first few streets there in eastern Chasiv Yar, they have. And there's nothing. They're just, in fact, I would promise you that if I could have the drone footage from the same angle right now, 3 days later, it would even look 100x worse. They're just destroying it section by section by section. So that's what's going on there in Chasiv Yar. And it's tough. It's very, very, very tough. So let's go now to point 2 of 4 I want to share with you guys tonight. The first one being Chasiv Yar. The second one being west of Avdiivka. This, guys, is we're losing ground here. In fact, I'm going to leave the map at this level right here for a purpose. I'll change this back to black, easier to see. Guys, this is Pokrovsk. I talk about it all the time. And this is Mirnograd. And just a couple of weeks ago, I was on the road that comes through Mirnograd into Pokrovsk, just like this, and was rolling out. Mirnograd, every building has damage. 95% of the buildings in Mirnograd have damage. Think about that for a moment. We're nowhere near here. Well, it's close. 30 kilometers as the crow flies, 25 kilometers as the crow flies. And just think, Mirnograd, 95% of the buildings have damage. My personal eyeballs witnessed them. So just imagine what's happening back on the Black Line. Russia has, and I will delete all that. This is the town right here. Okay, I'm calling it right now. After Chasiv Yar, the next town that will become famous, you know, if you gather your information, which is wonderful, from YouTube channels that you trust, and we have a great family of YouTube channels that you can trust, you begin to hear these town names, and they become in your mind a little bit. For example, if you go way back in the war, if you're old school, you remember Severodonetsk and Lysychansk, and then you remember Bakhmut and Avdiivka and Mariupol, all these places. And then you start to hear now a lot about Krinky, the little place across the river, and we will talk about that in a moment, and that's why the patch is here. And then you hear Chasiv Yar, and you say, okay, I know Chasiv Yar. I've learned that place. And then you hear Orikhiv, which is supporting Robotyne, the guys there. I'm telling you right now, mark it down, April the 8th, 2024. April the 8th, 2024. The next town you will begin to hear a lot about is Krasnogorivka. It is circled in the black. Why? Because if Krasnogorivka falls, they're going straight. This right here is even a larger town than Chasiv Yar, about 16,000 people pre-war. It's a nice sized town. And Russia has advanced a couple of kilometers here, and they've advanced a couple of kilometers here, meaning, and I'll change the color, they will start putting the northern and the southern pressure on Krasnogorivka. 1,000,000% they want that town. 1,000,000%, of course, because after that, there's nowhere to protect. I will change the blue to change the color so we don't get confused. You have Girnik, Ukrainsk, Siljove, Novogrodivka, Grodivka. This is a lot of things Johnny Pierce talks about. You'll have a village called Grodivka and Novogrodivka. And guys, after that, it's Mirnograd and Pokrovsk. That's it. These little places you see here, and you see a little gray, guys, that's just little family farming little villages. It may have 10 homes in it, 20 homes in it, one street. It's I don't mean this negatively, but it's nothing. There's no infrastructure. So once Krasnogorivka down here is taken, if it is taken, and it will be if they're not supplied, we got some serious issues in the Donetsk Oblast. Hopefully, we do not get to that level, but definitely possible. All right, now let's go third location for tonight, and that is Robotyne. Going to come down to the southern front, and we're going to come in here, and I will explain this one to you guys. This is a town you hear a lot about. This is Orikhiv. We supply guys here in Orikhiv, and I have video I will be sharing of that. We were in Orikhiv and supplying the Robotyne guys, and the artillery was dropping, the jets were flying overhead, and I've waited a couple of weeks. It was one of the last places I dropped aid in Ukraine, and due to safety, definitely waited because where you're going to see our guys will have rotated. Everything will be good. Everything will be OPSEC, but it's going to be powerful video for you to see. In fact, I'm going to make myself a note and Orikov. You'll see that tomorrow night. You do not want to miss the Orikov video. So this is Robotyne proper down here. I'm circling in the blue. And as you can see, about 40% under Russian control, with control, meaning red, the gold projected, meaning there potentially could be some Ukrainian presence still there, but most likely with ISW, Institute Study of Wars analysis, it's leaning toward Russian control. The other issue is here, guys, right there. You see that gold on the west side of Robotyne. Why is that so important? Well, it's equally as important as this place and this place. Why? Because it is up high. This is high ground. Let me change that. This is high ground. This is high ground. This is a teeny little village that sits on a slope, and it comes down into Orikov. This is why Orikov is being shelled so heavy, because this is the high ground. This is the low ground, very low. Robotyne is also very low. And right here, Russia is gaining the high ground there. So Robotyne is a challenge. Ukraine's still holding. Ukraine's still fighting. Supply lines are hard to get in. Just imagine one road going. Once it gets hotter and drier, that can be adjusted. Make roads where there is no road. But for now, this one is a challenge, and we'll keep our eyes on it. And tomorrow night, you'll actually see Orikov. The last place, and this is the reason tonight I have the patch here. For those of you just joined, I have this patch on the microphone tonight. This is for the earth and the sky translated. This is the griffin or whatever creature it is, but this is the Crinky guys. If you look on the wall up there behind, right there, that's Kirill's artwork. There's my plaque from the Crinky guys, made out of amber, and on the back is a personal message written to me from the Crinky guys. Now, another reason that we're having a tough day, and Virginia, for myself, Pete's having his own tough day, but if I come in here to the Crinky guys, right here, across the river, this little section, Ukraine is still holding. But this patch right here, this patch has been worn right here. This is the Crinky guys. And today we learned we lost 3 Crinky guys. And it's very tough on us because I do not yet have confirmation on which Crinky guys, but we will have 99% have met them or know them. And the unfortunate thing, guys are killed there every day. But the unfortunate thing is these 3 soldiers were taken, they were captured. And instead of having humane laws of warfare, the drone footage captured it, they were just murdered. They were captured, and instead of being taken captive, they were shot and killed. These images were caught by drones, and of course, I will not show that. But these are our guys. And if they're our guys, they're your guys. Most likely I've drinking tea or coffee and hugged these guys. So it's ridiculous, guys. This is what we're facing. And these are the days that you have in this war. So tonight, big honor goes out to Crinky heroes. And this is why tonight we have the Crinky patch on the microphone. Yeah. So I think we'll just take a moment of silence for the Crinky guys there. Yeah, bad. And I'm just telling you guys, these Crinky guys are... they're studs, man. They are so kind. Such high-level soldiers. This group was formed for a special operation across the river. It's public. I'm not telling you anything private here. These are some serious studs. Such high-level brain power, first of all. Some of the smartest, most... forget courageous. They're all courageous, but experienced heroes. Yeah. There's special guys, special guys. All right. So pay attention to it, guys. Pay attention. I know you know this. Peter Pellegrini become the new president of Slovakia. He opposes the supply of arms to Ukraine and joins his party in a coalition with the pro-Russian Prime Minister Robert Fico. So not really good news there either. Slovakia has been helping Ukraine some. The thing about Slovakia, guys, and why this is so important, I'll go back to the map to show you this, but this is the border of Ukraine. Okay, so here's Romania, here's Hungary, but Slovakia shares border with Ukraine. So we really don't need another nation on the border of Ukraine that at the minimum leans pro-Kremlin. You know, we already do not have Belarus. We already do not have Transnistria, and we already have all the occupied. We have continual struggles with the Polish border. Right now, I can tell you that a lot of vehicles or equipment is trying to avoid Poland right now, and they're actually bringing them like through Czech, Austria, Hungary, Romania, and then they'll clip through Moldova, not in Transnistria, of course, and come in to support Ukraine that way. So just the time, the expense, all of these things that are necessary to get supply. And we're talking humanitarian aid, we're talking vehicles, those types of things, not military supply. It's just taking longer to get all of that done. So we'll see. We'll pay attention to Slovakia. This is actually the ground forces leader saying that Russia changing tactics on targeting Ukraine's energy plants, and that is the truth. They're attacking them more. They're attacking them more effectively because now, 1 year later, because last year about this time, it was very challenging, really the first part of the year. When I was there, first part of 2023, we were on blackouts all the time. It was improved, and now Ukraine's back on the blackouts. But unfortunately now, the damage that is being done to these plants, they can't repair them. So they're not even able to salvage equipment to maybe bring it to one place to get it repaired. So restoration, repair is not becoming possible. One of the reasons that Russia is able to hit much more effectively is because of the Shaheeds. The Shaheeds do their job, and they do not care how many they lose. And we love to rejoice, okay, every morning with stats. Russia fired 25 Shaheeds. Ukraine took out 25 Shaheeds. And that's great news. Do not misunderstand me. But a majority of the Shaheeds flying around the air right now are not always carrying warheads on them. They're carrying very high-level camera systems where Russia is mapping the latest air defense positions. They're mapping movements. They're mapping targets, power plants, infrastructure, and they don't care if they get shot down because they've already sent the data back. Right now, Russia producing about 30 Shaheeds per day, 11,000 per year, but that is being increased to 87 per day, 32,000 per year. Guys, even if they only fire 30 a day, it's a challenge. Even if they only fire 10 a day, it's a challenge. Why? Because the Shaheeds can float around the airspace of Ukraine without being taken down for hours and hours and hours. They're just putting along. I've taught you guys here, they call them mopeds. They put along. You say, well, why isn't the air defense taking them down? Well, guys, that's the same question I have for you. When Ukraine can launch UAVs 1,000, 1,200 kilometers into Russia and strike energy infrastructure or strike an air base, why aren't they being shot down? Guys, because of the artificial intelligence and what these Shaheeds are actually doing, or Ukrainian drones. They are fighting off the radar. The AI is reprogramming. They're moving, and they're very hard to find. They're not way up in the sky like some cruise missile. You can literally be on the ground, and you're on the ground, and you're under air alarm, and it's been going for hours, so you forget about it. The siren has stopped sounding, and all of a sudden, you hear this. That's it. And the Shaheed just going, just flying on through the air. My buddy, just weeks ago, was over on one side of our home city there. And he called me, he says, Greg, Shaheed over my head right now. I said, how high? He said, third floor building, just putting around. This is the reality, guys. And Russia increasing that production to 87 drones a day will be a big challenge. Now, I want to show you this quote. This is the DTEK CEO, and I will show you DTEK in a moment. It's a Ukrainian energy company, Maxim Timchenko, and I will quote him here. With each attack on our energy infrastructure, we are less able to salvage equipment, period. The current cost to repair is twice as much as this time last year at the peak of the assaults against our energy sector. I want to show you guys DTEK's website now, and that's the CEO, Maxim Timchenko, telling you reality of the situation with power. Here's their website. Supporting our soldiers, it'll come back around. DTEK urges the world's help now, calling on allies and partners for energy equipment and air defense. Then they talk about their investments, making the impossible possible, bringing power to our people, supporting our soldiers and society. It's a good company, energy independence. But look here, guys, their first one, urges the world's help now. Look at that destroyed place. Calling on allies and partners for energy equipment and air defense. Go back one more time. You think they have a problem? They have a problem. Wherever you're located tonight, whatever country you're in, think about big energy companies in your country. And if they were to have on their website, number one, please help us. We need air defense and we need supplies. It's not the Ukrainian government. It's not the Ukrainian military. It is the power company, one of them, a big one, saying, help us, help us. Hopefully, that helps people understand. GTE, can power plants be hardened or avoid damage in any way? So they've already done this. I'm not allowed. Of course, I couldn't take pictures or video of this, but I can describe it to you. Especially down along the frontline areas, every power plant is reinforced. Every one. Every substation is reinforced. You drive along the road down south or in the east, and you see the substation. And then what you see is concrete walls, sandbags, all covering it. But there are parts that still have to be exposed, of course. But Ukraine has done the best they can to reinforce their power infrastructure. It's nonstop assault, guys. Every day, nonstop air assaults. In fact, I'll take a peek right now. Okay, here you go. Right now. Kherson, Zaporizhia, Donetsk, Dnipropetrovsk, Mykolaiv, Poltava, Vinnytsia. One may logically ask, if you're here and you're new to discovering us, Greg, why is Vinnytsia red, but Kirovograd not red, or Cherkasy not red, or Odessa not red? That's because this is Shaheeds, guys. We look at this every day. We can tell you when it's crews. We can tell you when it's daggers, just by how the air alarms function. This is definitely Shaheeds flying around. And they're flying around these regions right now. It is 1:08 a.m. in Ukraine. It's every day, non-stop. Right now, these are the main targets. I'm not giving you information. Ukraine released this information. Kharkiv and their energy infrastructure on the top right, below in the yellow icon. Below that is the Zmivska, which is completely destroyed. There are some other infrastructures there. It's a very important power producing place down southeast of Kharkiv, but basically 80% destroyed already. They're going to try to finish that one. Dnipro, Kryvyi Rih, and Kryvyi Rih, of course, being the home city of President Zelensky. And then in southern Ukraine, the Laduzhin power plant. And I can also tell you, maybe you guys are not aware of this, but if you see there the Laduzhin power plant, and if you look straight down, you see the city of Mykolaiv. Okay? Between Laduzhin and Mykolaiv, somewhere in that area right there, it's public information. I would draw it. It's no big deal. It's public. Is the southern nuclear power plant. So if you're wondering where the other nuclear power plant is, it's right there. It's above Mykolaiv and below Laduzhin. And then out in the west, in Lviv region, and also in Ivano-Frankivsk region, Burshnutska and Dobrodvir. These are the main places. These are the main places. Paul, thank you for catching those questions. I will check them in a minute. It's rolling, and you guys keep rolling. This is the Hope Train, and we're rolling. Thank you. I'll catch them. Now, here's some truth. Here's some truth. We have heard over the last 4 or 5 days direct statements out of Ukraine, President Zelensky, Siersky, Kuleba, Siersky being the supreme commander, Zelensky being the president, Kuleba being the foreign minister, saying, okay, we're not going to need to mobilize 500,000. Now, they have not given the number, but they have said we're not going to need to mobilize 500,000. We'll see. But here's a quote from today from the commander of the ground forces, Alexander Pavluk. That's his name. This is his quote. I really appreciate this quote. This is truth. The more Ukrainians find the courage to join the ranks of the armed forces, the sooner Ukrainian cities will return to a normal, safe life. Quote, Commander of the Ground Forces, Alexander Pavluk. We have to realize that no one will be able to sit down. Russia will not leave anyone alone. Neither those who hid nor those who betrayed Ukraine. Ouch. But man, thank you, sir, for saying it. If you love your country and you fled it, and there's a difference between fleeing it and ignoring the war, or fleeing it and supporting the war. Huge difference. A lot of Ukrainians outside of Ukraine supporting their nation in a massive way. But if you are a Ukrainian and you fled your country and you just want to forget it, then I have zero respect for you. Zero. If you are a Ukrainian and you are getting rich off of this war, I have zero respect for you. Go to the Kremlin. If you are a Ukrainian that is outside of Ukraine and you are supporting this war, I respect you to the highest level. But this is not my word. This is the Ground General Pavluk. Russia will not leave anyone alone, neither those who hid nor those who betrayed Ukraine. He clarified that the armed forces need various specialists, drivers, clerks, cooks, construction workers, IT specialists, accountants, doctors, engineers. And receiving a summons, that's for mobilization, does not mean that tomorrow the person will be at the forefront or the zero line, only after the conclusion of the VOK and a month's preparation. That is from Ground Force Commander Alexander Pavluk. I highly respect that. If you're here tonight and you're new and you're going, man, why do you have such opinionated or strong opinions on Ukraine? Because I've worked there for 26 years. 26 years. And I spend my fair share of time there running the front and helping. And this is the real opinion of Ukrainians. And I'm so thankful for this commander, the top dog of the ground forces, Alexander Pavluk. Look at his eyes, that blue eyes. I mean, boom, telling the truth. If you're a coward, they're going to hunt you down anyway if you betrayed us. Help us. Help us, help us. This is the reality of mobilization. We shall see what comes next. Finally, check this out, guys. I want to show you this. That right there is 60, a representation of 60,000 hectares. And I'm using hectares. So many Europeans are a part of our community. I know that 1 hectare's like 2-point-something acres, if I remember correctly, for Americans in here. It's a lot of land. It's about 214 square miles. This is in reference only to deep forest. not to the land in general, but to forested land. Over 60,000 hectares of forest have been leveled, destroyed completely. This is a picture from August of 2021. August 2021, prior to the war, out in eastern Ukraine. I have put in the blue a large section of forest, all deep forest there. You can see the difference between that and the fields, deep forest. Now I'm going to show you the same picture, September 2023. The forest is gone. This is just one example. Check it out. Deep forest, August 2021. Same image, September 2023. Forest is gone. One last time for you. Forest, gone. That is what we're facing. Now, let me say once again, thank you guys for being here. If you were here to hear Pete, and I know other people have jumped in, I want to answer the questions before I jump out tonight. But if you're here and you came late and you say, hey, where's Pete? I'm looking for Pete. Here's Pete. One more time, I'll play it for you.
Dearest Greg, dearest Shenya, dearest everybody at the Greg Terry Experience, you guys have to, please, I have to beg your forgiveness tonight. We have arrived at our frontline position and we don't have enough Starlinks. My house that I'm sleeping in is 0.5 kilometer away, and this house has got about 20 soldiers in it, and they're doing rotations right now, and there's no ways at midnight I can sit here having a loud stream. The house is in darkness, there's no electricity, there's one echo flow. 2 echo flows, one's running the Starlink, one's giving this light. Please, my sincerest apologies, folks. It's just, it's impossible to happen tonight. I'm really, really, really sorry. We have to drive to Kharkiv tomorrow, an hour and a half away, to go get another echo flow. Maybe we can catch up tomorrow, Greg. I'm really sorry, brother.
So guys, there you have it. That is Pete, and who knows, maybe he will be here tomorrow. We'll see, but right now he's on the 0 line. Planning right now to have Johnny Pierce tomorrow night, Professor Gertis on Wednesday night, 5 o'clock Eastern. Thank you guys so much, and once again tonight we had a little emotional moment there in the middle of the stream, remembering the Crinky guys. Here is their patch and the patch of the night. I do see comments over here, so let me get to them. One Gale early in the stream asked, any opinion on forcing mobilization for supply roles over front roles with volunteering perks to not degrade fighting force at Greg Terry Experience? I will answer that very easily for you. Most of my friends that are Ukrainian that we work with very closely, they are 100% pro forced mobilization, period. Whether it be supply roles or any of the things that the commander, the ground force commander was referring to. Ukraine needs forces and Ukraine needs a wake-up call, and it's happening, guys. It's happening. The wake-up call is happening right now. Right now. We're losing some ground, and we could lose a lot. A lot. Hopefully not. I'm hoping a line doesn't completely fail, but Ukraine needs supply big time. And a lot of Ukrainian heroes are very pro being very active in the mobilization. So, Pete Brady asked, can we... Okay, you know what? Pete, I'm such a moron. Holy moly. What a strange person I am. Okay, Paul and others that are our mods, I have really good software here, and I just had this idea hit my head, and as soon as I get off this stream, I'm going to get on the phone and I'm going to call my guy. Everybody's got a my guy, and I'm going to ask him. Okay, so I'm using you see this software right here? Right there. That's how I'm watching your guys' comments, okay? Right there. And of course, I only have 2 eyes, so it's hard for me to keep up with them. But Paul, I think I can network you into this software here from your computer or your phone or whatever you're doing, and you would actually be able to queue the comments up for me even from Europe. I'm 99% sure that can happen. 99%. Because I'm reading them over here and there's so much going on. So we're going to check on that. I just had a revelation. Wow. Okay. We'll work on that, Paul. We'll work on that and others. Thank you. Now, let me go back to this. Okay, questions. I got the mobilization one done. Andrea, do you think part of today's ramp up of hits is because they know the world is distracted with the eclipse? No, I don't think they're just worried about the eclipse. There's enough people out there that expected aliens to land today with the eclipse anyway. And by the way, I watched the eclipse with my family. It came right over where I live in Western Pennsylvania. And it's really, really interesting. Annie Yuki Chick Wilkie, member 1 month. More info on Poltava forthcoming. Yes, more info is coming on Poltava, but we do have dead and wounded there from this strike. Linda S., member 1 month. Greg, opinion question. Considering Ukraine is stopping Russia from invading other countries, should troops from threatened European countries be sending their troops now, not as NATO? Opinion. Considering Ukraine is stopping Russia from invading other countries, okay, should troops from the threatened European countries be sending their troops now, not as NATO? You said it was my opinion. My opinion is Russia needs to be defeated in Ukraine. In whatever way that works, whether it's through NATO or through other nations jumping in. We hear the threats from Russia nonstop. If any French soldier puts his foot on the ground in Odessa, it's immediately red line. We've heard red line for 2 years, guys. But this war is already happening in Ukraine. It's brutally horrible. It's the last 150 years of warfare rolled up into one, and the war needs to be won in Ukraine. However that takes place. So for me, personally, European nations would struggle to battle Russia without the United States. I mean, just telling you straight. Germany's not prepared. I was on a stream Saturday night on the Shills with a German Ukrainian. The guy's brilliant. I'm going to get him on here one night. He is in Germany. Starsky's in Germany. Germany's not prepared for a war. And some of you in here may be German. You can confirm or deny, but Germany's not prepared. I trust those guys. Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, although bulldogs, guys, so tiny, so tiny. Poland right now. You guys want the truth on Poland? I'll give you the truth on Poland. Poland right now is struggling in their support of Ukraine because they are war weary. I was just in Poland 10 days ago, flying back home. I was talking to Polish people. I was talking to Ukrainians in Poland, and they all said the same thing. The war in Ukraine is not on our news anymore, and to be quite honest, we're sick of it. We're sick of them talking about sending our money to help Ukraine. I'm telling you guys straight out exactly what I was told. Leslie B. Wild Hornets just got kicked off. Buy me a coffee. I do not understand that comment. If there's something there I need to understand, please email me. Cat's Cat sent you some money through PayPal. Thank you. Going straight to Ukraine. Just Keith, Greg, I'm your guy from your hometown trying to get to Ukraine. You sent someone's email. I wrote, but I did not hear back. Okay, Keith, I know exactly where you're sitting right now. Yes, I had connected you with a guy that was supposed to contact you. If he did not, please, when this stream is over, email me. I'm going to actually send you my number, and I want you to send me a WhatsApp message, and I will make that connection happen for you, period. Is Kharkiv losing residents, fleeing the conditions much? All cities are losing residents. Kherson, I've been working in Kherson since the war started. Initially, early on, thousands and thousands, 100,000 people, then 50,000. My guess right now, and I was just in Kherson 2.5 weeks ago, 10,000 people left. All places are losing people. Greg, was it you, Susie Q, that said between all the countries there are at least 250 Patriot systems out there and a lot still plastic wrapped? That was not me. That might have been Jake Bro or Johnny or somebody. Not really sure. So I think we've caught up on all of those, and I want to thank you guys for being here. We're even going to make the interaction better. I'm going to communicate with some of our mods and see if I can get that software that will allow them to queue the comments. There you go. There's Jana. It was Jake Bro, because that allows me to then push the question there, and it's a much more pleasant experience for you guys out there to see the technology working. You can see the questions. And Greg, any thoughts on Anthony Blinken NATO statement? So JDO, the last NATO statement I heard was the one 4 or 5 days ago when he was with the French defense minister. So I'm not sure to which one you are referring, but I can tell you this, guys, JDU included, I can tell you this. I don't see it. I don't see NATO responding. I don't see European nations putting boots on the ground. I don't see NATO getting more involved than they already are. And I see European nations now beginning to think about they need to prepare themselves for war. And much of Europe may switch to a war outlook. I apologize for my country. I love my country. The flag is right behind me. And great country, just like many of your countries are great countries. But we have a global responsibility with the size of our military, our influence, the places that we have military spread around this world for the purpose of peacekeeping. Do not believe the hype that we're warmongers. We're not. We've made mistakes, just like all nations have made. But right now, our country is so divided, so confused, and we are facing an election year where there's still 7 months to go of maniacal chaos. What's going to be very interesting to watch, and I'll close with this, is the next few days, how conversations go in the United States House of Representatives. So that's where we're at. Thank you guys for all that you do. Once again, I had Pete here in spirit, got his 1 minute personal message. Remember Pete tonight. Tough place tonight. Remember the Crinky guys, your guys. You support them through us that have lost some heroes. Now, as I close out, I promised you guys that I would give you an update on the snatches, and I'll give you an update on batteries. Batteries are solid gold there in Ukraine because they allow soldiers to stay alive. They're the ones that we provide that are modified, that have the USB-C charging port where, yes, it can be used as a power bank if needed, but that's not why the power port is there. The power port is there so that the radio can continue to be charged by a power bank. That's why we supply power banks and these batteries. I received an email from a very generous donor this weekend, had great communication, and today FedEx check was put in the mail for $5,000 to purchase 100 more of those batteries. That check will arrive this evening or tomorrow, and immediately we will get Zhenya purchasing another 100 of those solid gold batteries. So that's a $5,000 project that's going to happen like that. The snatches. Guys, I really want to give you the number. You've trusted me this far. Trust me a little bit more. We're definitely over 210,000 now. 260 is our goal. However, I will show you this. I will show you this. Let me do something first for OPSEC for you guys. Guys, you don't want to miss this. This is what we're closing with. Just, you're watching me color right now. I'm coloring to make sure we're safe. Snatch. Here you go. There. That is our agreement. Tanks a Lot Limited there in the UK. You can see our church name, our nonprofit, Bethel Life. You can see the reference there with the snatches. You can see what date? Today's date, 4/8/2024. 4 snatched armored Land Rovers. Done, guys. Deposits on the way. We finally have the document in place, and Lloyd's of London, Lloyd's Bank will be, or Lloyd's, whatever, will be facilitating this. And it's happening right now. And I can tell you that stick around for a few days and you're going to get an incredible update. We're getting ready to make a major jump, but please continue donating toward the snatches. That brings me to the last question. Somebody earlier, I lost a comment, had asked, hey, can we just buy an Echo Flow? Can we do that project? So the answer to that is, sure, we can buy an Echo Flow. And if Pete messages me and says, dude, we need some help, Echo Flow's done. But at the same time, guys, myself, Zhenya, Pete, Fish, Pavel Ivanovich, all these characters, the other streamers, Johnny, Rick, Gertis, Andrew Mercado and I doing so much more stuff together now, and Starsky, the Shills, so many people. We have to deliver what we promised. And we're like so compelled to push this snatch to the limit to make it a complete project where you guys can witness your donations. Literally, the key dropped, the snatch dropped, fully kitted out. And guys, it's going to be kitted with the winches and the anti-drone and the drone jammers and the night vision, kitted out. 4 of them. You're going to see it. At that point, there will be such a confidence in this community and such an awareness that we found a place through all these guys working together where we can actually donate and it doesn't go down a toilet bowl. And I never knew if my support gets there. At that point, guys, I will be happy to come on here and say, guys, snatches are done. We need to do 10 echo flows. 2 weeks, let's do 10 echo flows, or whatever it may be. Right now, just as a point of honor, I'm all about the snatches. If other needs pop up, like the batteries that came in, we'll hit it. But man, you have to see those delivered, and you will as fast as possible. So thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Remember, tomorrow night, 5 o'clock Eastern, Johnny from ATP Geopolitics. Wednesday, Professor Gertis will be with me, 5 o'clock. At any point, Pete's jumping in as soon as he's safe again. And Friday, flag raffle on Friday. You guys be blessed. Thank you for all. Apologies for starting 15 minutes late, but man, what a great time we had. Slava Ukraini. Героям слава. Good night.
Слава Україні!